Howdy folks, welcome back to Shallow Pockets Acres. Today's July 11th and we're in here taking a look at these chestnut trees, which just one's in here beside the cabin. My Blue Hill Wildlife Nursery trees. And I'm not seeing any burrs started on the tree yet this year. And then there's one that I started from seed. I think it's been 3 years ago now. And then the dog kennel I put up, which I did plant some men in it and then some hostas in it, and neither one of them are looking the greatest, but I did throw a little more dirt around both of them. Hosta is pretty hard to kill, but it's kind of looking like I may have managed to kill a lot of that clump of hosta. And then we got another chestnut from Blue Hill Wildlife Nursery here that did flower. And I'm not noticing any burrs on it yet either, but it's still in the flowering process, and I might be a little early yet to notice any burrs on it. And then that one back there also showing the flowers on it. And then the one out here closer, I did get it trimmed up, and hopefully it does survive for me. And then got a striped maple in here that I need to get cut out. And while I'm here, the one that's in here in this patch of ferns, you can see it this year above the ferns. That's another one I started from seed. Walk out through the huckleberries or blueberries here and hope not to run onto another rattlesnake while I'm doing this today. And in this cage here is where I cut my apple tree off, and I did notice before everything else started growing that it was coming back. Or we'll have to check on it. I get the weed eating back here, maybe I'll do some weed eating inside that cage and try to look at it. And then one I can't remember the name of, and I'm not seeing any apples on that tree now. But this is a tree I took the caterpillar nest out of earlier in the year. And then I did do some weed eating around parts of this 2 days ago. We had a cookout yesterday, and 2 days ago when I was doing this weed eating, I think I had a bear get into this tree where it's got it snapped there, and I put some bracing on it, and the cage over there is bent in a little bit on the other side there, where I think a bear got up there and grabbed a hold of it to get after some of the apples that was on this tree. There is still a few hanging yet. I can't see them on my screen, but there's still a couple hanging on it yet, where I'm thinking the bear got after the green apples on it. And this is the other tree. I can't remember whether Graham's Gift or... I was thinking the label was on this cage, but I'm not seeing it. There are a couple apples hanging on it here and there that I've seen. this way. There's a few hanging here and there. And then there behind the wood pile is the third chestnut that I started from seed, where the deer did take the top out of it last summer. And I've got a higher cage put around it, and it's almost through the top of the cage now in its growth. And there's the turning point crab apple that I bought last year, putting on some new growth this year. And then my Advent pear, I think it is. It's also from Blue Hills. It's getting a little more new growth on the top of it. I'm going to walk up here to where I had 2 walnuts that I put in the ground. I guess I do need to protect any future walnut trees I plant up here, because the one I'm going to say the deer, this one where this circle of rocks is, the deer pulled clean out of the ground. And then in the last video, they had some of the leaves ate off of the one in this circle of rocks. The stem is still there, to where it may still try to push out of the ground again, but I can't find it in my viewer. There we go. It's still there. It may still try, and I may need to just put a cage around that. Okay, here's a cage that I got the chestnut in and the chestnut oak in and the birch tree. I need to get the birch cut out. Haven't done that yet. Where I'm seeing this chestnut did put on a couple flowers anyhow, but I think we're too early to see burrs on anything yet. And really need to get that birch tree out of there to get the competition for the sunlight knocked out. Come right through one of the 3 different pines that are growing in there. So the tree, I think this is one of the first ones that put chestnuts on, and I can see flowers on it. It's one from Tie Nursery. Where later on, if I get to notice some burrs on them, I'll come back through and do another walk around video around the trees. Which I don't remember there being flowers out on this end of the tree last year, but I may have just missed them out here last year. And also while I'm here today, I'm checking my cameras, and this is where the one at the top of the fire pit trail is located. Okay, and in this cage is a mother forest chestnut. It hasn't grown much at all since the time I put it in the ground as far as height or anything, but and I don't show it very often, so I thought I'd just turn the camera on here. It's in here along the fire pit trail, the old fire pit trail, and one of these days I may give it a little more sunlight and see if it will take off for me, but And I can see this is another trail I need to get weeded again this year. Get the brush knocked back down off of it. And then I got a couple holly bushes planted in here. And I don't know how often I have showed them, if I have showed them much at all. And then we're down to the old fire pit area. There's the old fire pit. And my other holly bushes are where I got 6 of them planted together, need cut out around again, I can see now. Okay, the Walmart apple tree here, which I still haven't got the branches of it trimmed up yet. But it's still living. And then my hazelnut, American filbert. And yeah, it is putting some on it now, if I can find them in the screen here. And I can't say for sure if I got them ones or not, but I am seeing some hanging here and there. There's one hanging here in front of me, but I can't find it in my viewer. And I still can't get in it right up next to it, and I still can't find it in the viewer. And hopefully I'm getting it scanned in there to show that it is finally starting to produce some. And I know I've seen a few earlier in the year out here on this side of this bush. Right there's one right on the end. Right there. Down there hangs another one. And whether I'm going to get it on camera or not is hard to say, but I am seeing a few hazelnuts hanging on that. And then we've got our Dunstan chestnut trees here, which they did all 3 flower. But it'll be a few weeks, I feel, to where I can see any burrs on anything. And then in this mess is my other turning point. It's been in the ground for a few years now. Along with, I need to get the birch cut out from around it. But it's putting on some new growth. And I actually see a chestnut haul here laying on the ground. since I'm here today, I'm not going to walk over to but there's another tie chestnut with the flowers in the top of it, which it did put on a few burrs last year, I do believe. I think that's going to be, for the most part, the look at the trees today on July 12th, where I have my chair set up down here for whenever I do come down and weed eat or whatever, to where I can sit down and take a break in the shade underneath this one Chestnut Hills chestnut. Thanks for watching.